Continuing, first Mincha is going to be 7:10. Continuing in the Halachot of a partnership with a Goy. Once the Jew and the Goy make a valid partnership where the Jew gets a weekday and the Goy, he himself essentially owns and has the full rights of the profits and also of the losses and of the job itself on Shabbat. Once that deal was made and essentially set in stone, now in terms of the division itself, must they calculate every dollar and every cent earned on Shabbat and every dollar and cent earned on, let's say, the Sunday, and divide it in that exact way? Because otherwise, maybe you'll say that it's not a legitimate agreement. So interestingly, the Halacha says as follows. It says that once they've come to this agreement and they've done it belev shalem, full-heartedly and honestly, it wasn't a sham. When it comes to splitting, if the splitting is going to get very complicated and it's going to take a lot of time for them to figure out how much was made on Shabbat, how much was made, it's going to be too much of a hassle. They could agree and say, listen, we know each person is entitled to their day, but it takes a long time to figure it out. It's going to be costly. Time is money. Why don't we just split it evenly and just call it even? And they're allowed to do that. It's mutal to do that because as long as it could be divided, it's something that they're able to calculate. And just out of their own convenience, they're not interested. They're sort of relinquishing their right to whatever money they could have earned more than the other side by doing the math. Then that's okay. That's permitted in Halacha. There's no problem with that. It doesn't make it seem like, oh, they're just playing a game. You see, that's probably what they had in mind in the beginning. No, they made real terms. And now they've come to the splitting and they don't want to do the math and they want to split it evenly. That's called a mechira. That's called forgoing what they possibly could have gotten as a result of it. That is totally permitted and the Halacha allows that, and is not a problem that it retroactively becomes that the partnership wasn't real. So that is perfectly allowed. The only time it would really not be allowed is if there is no way to split it. There is no way to calculate. There's no way to determine whatsoever. So then that really becomes a problem because then the whole thing was just based on a sham. There is no such thing as you taking the day. But if there is a way to calculate the work, the effort, and how much value that effort has, or how much profits came in, all of those would be legitimate ways, and then they could be mocher. Baruch Adonai Ne'olam, Amen ve'amen.